What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Box Out Boys podcast. We are the NBA podcast of the people, your home for lukewarm takes and substandard analysis. I'm Titus Two Shots Dominguez, and joining me tonight, it's the tweet god, Chris Gorman. What's trending, Chris?
Hey. So this stat of the week is brought to you by our most loyal listener, Richie, who sent in today over 35 players are averaging 20 points per game. Less than a decade ago in the 2012-13 season, only 9 players are averaging 20 or more points. And to add on to that, this year, points per game on average is 109.7. And this year, in 2012-13, it was 98.1. So it's gone up 11.6 points per game. So if the lines are adjusting to that, make sure, or if they're not adjusting to that, make sure you take the over. A lot of scoring.
The offense is killing it. He's out there getting buckets for us. It is the lawn boss, the ambassador, Joey McCroskey. Get that, Joe.
Not panicking yet. I was panicking when I signed on, but now I'm not panicking.
The Bulls snuck out a win over Detroit, so the panic meter went down just a little bit. Just a bit. Adam is not. Adam is not with us tonight. He is celebrating his wife's birthday with his
Happy
wife.
birthday.
Happy birthday. Congratulations. I don't know what else to say.
Congratulations.
But sorry.
Make it another year.
We're live. We made another year. Hey, you know what? In times like these. All right. Well, it's a fun start to the show already. Adam, we need you back, buddy.
Good thing the number says 0 right now.
Yep. Yeah, we'll just push right through this. It's fine. All right, we got a lot for you this week. We got a starting 5 pack of questions to get the show rolling. Then we're also going to give you guys our playoff tracker, just kind of track where everybody's at playoff-wise. The current seedings, update those weekly here as we go through the stretch run. And then we're going to hit you guys with our playoff power rankings, which is the top 4 teams, in our opinion, not the top 4 seeds, but the top 4 teams currently playing in each conference. We'll be doing that. And then we're also, if we, we'll make time for it. We're going to play a round of Purtle. Today's Purtle.
Yeah.
The Wordle-based game that is sweeping the NBA nation. It's awesome. We're all loving it. We're in deep in the comments and stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoy us playing.
This might go horribly embarrassing wrong.
So yes, it could go really wrong, which is
substandard Purtle.
Ooh, we'll have to. Either way, we'll have to cut it out and post it on a separate little clip. I feel a shared clip going around. All right. Well, to get us started, we'll start with our starting 5 questions. Question number 1: which weekend performance will have the biggest impact on their team? LeBron's game, Tatum's big game, or Jokic's big game? So just a quick recap. These: LeBron had 56, 10, and 3 in a 124-111 win over Golden State. 6 made threes for LeBron. 30 from Steph in that game, too. So it was a big game there. Tatum had 54, 5, and 3, 8 threes in a 126-120 win over the Nets. Durant with a monster 37 game still, but not enough. Jokic 46 with the absolute monster line. 46, 12, 11, 3 steals, 4 blocks in a 138-130 overtime win against New Orleans. All right, guys. To answer that question, which performance do you think is going to have the most effect going forward in the final stretch run? Chris, what do you think, man?
So initially, I wanted to go LeBron. I'm like, oh, they just beat Golden State. This is great. And then the next night, he doesn't play. It's a back-to-back. The man's 36 years old. Takes the night off. Popovich is now only 1 win away from passing down Nelson.
Could happen tonight.
Yeah, it could happen. Yeah, and after beating the Lakers. And now, right now, the Lakers are down 80-82 to Houston with LeBron playing. So I'm not going to say LeBron because great performance, but man, it's not. It's few and far in between. And Jokic, in turn, he did this in overtime, got that 46 point, and everything. And then the next day, he got another triple double, 30 plus points, killing it for his team, keeping his team alive. But really, I want to talk about Jason Tatum, 54 points. This guy is just he's the reason why he's a big reason why the Boston Celtics are 15-3 in the last 18 games after being 24-24. Yeah, he's the superstar that they've been waiting for. Now he's finally coming out. Everyone's been talking about Jason Tatum being the next big thing. Is this sustainable? It feels like it could be. So he could be actually, having a coming out party now. I think he's the most significant piece here.
So yeah, you think that Tatum is going to continue that run into the last 5 weeks here, Joey? What do you think? Who do you think had whose performance is going to carry over?
Yeah, I'm with Chris on it. Just looking through it, this is pretty commonplace for Jokic. So in terms of going forward impact, it's kind of what he's already been doing, and they've been who they are all season. My point on LeBron was exactly the same as Chris's. It's hard to say it was impactful when they went out and lost the next night, and then as Chris said, they're not doing so hot tonight.
It's Houston.
Yeah, I think also they need a little bit more than LeBron scoring 56, or what was it, 56, right?
Yeah, 56.
They need more than LeBron scoring 56 to really keep going. Like, he's not going to do that every night. So, it doesn't seem like it was a big catalyst for the rest of the team, which leaves you to Tatum, 54 points on 53.3% shooting. Chris had them at 15-3. I've got him 5-1 since the All-Star game, All-Star break. And since that, he's been averaging 34 points per game. And they are on an absolute run. And I don't think anybody wants to see them right now. And they seem to be rallying around his play. And this just seemed kind of be the cherry on top.
No, I do largely agree with you guys. Obviously, the Celtics have been red hot right now, but I kind of think that Jokic, I mean, you said commonplace, which I think is crazy. The fact that those kind of games are just ho-hum from Jokic, basically, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, not ho-hum, but we're so we're desensitized to it. Yeah,
Yep.
it's like a Giannis line or something like that. Where you're just
100%.
yeah. But I caught the highlights of that game and just the way he's kind of running the offense, or the offense is running through Jokic. I think it's super important. I think he was getting guys a lot of open shots. I know there's a lot of those, the quote unquote hockey assists, where the pass before the pass that he even had. That, I mean, he's making the offense is so much of it is running through him, and the way he's kind of delivering the ball to guys on time to get open shots, the way the guys are cutting around him when he gets the ball at the top of the key. He is their offense. And whether or not it's going to turn into playoff success is still kind of unsure, because, with all the guys they might have coming back, but I think that they're probably a second round team for sure. And with the Celtics, I don't know if they're quite there yet. And obviously the Lakers probably aren't getting out of the play-in tournament. So,
yeah.
So I still give the edge to Jokic right now, but Tatum definitely isn't far off. All right, our second question. This one, here we go. Hit the panic meter. Which team is most likely to miss the second round? The Bulls or the Nets? Or least likely to make the second round. That's what we have here. So the Nets, they had a nice win yesterday. Who was that over? Why am I blanking? Kyrie's 50.
The Charlotte.
That's right. Yeah, another play-in tournament team. But they had losses over the weekend to Boston, Miami, and Toronto. So also teams in that mix, in the Miami or the Boston loss and the Miami loss, both Kyrie and Kevin played. So no excuse there. But Joey, we'll go to you first on this one. Who's least likely to make it, man? The Bulls, who are kind of playing substandard right now, dropping in the standings, even though they had a win tonight. Who do you think, man?
I think the Nets are least likely to make the second round, and I'm basing that purely on what it looks like right now. So if the playoffs started today, excluding play-in nonsense, the Nets would have the 8th seed. If I'm Miami, I think that's a matchup that favors them. 2 points that I wrote down. So Bam's got to be, kind of licking his chops at that matchup with Drummond, right? I mean, he should be absolutely able to feast. Jimmy on Durant, I think you can live with, whatever comes from that. Either way, Durant's gonna have to work for it. And then, Lowry versus Kyrie. Kyrie's gonna, have the better offensive look, but Lowry's not a bad player, right? He's no slouch. So then it kind of comes down to the depth wise, and I think looking at it, you'd have to Tyler Hero as your next option over, your likes of Patty Mills, Bruce Brown. Hero's averaging 20 points a game so far this year.
Duke Jr.
Duke, there you go. And I think he's had like 31 the other night or something. Tyler Hero has been just out of his mind good so far this year. So I think in that matchup, I think the Heat would probably be your favorites. I don't think anybody would be surprised if, the Nets did it. But looking at it, if the Bulls get the Cavs, I think they can get out of that one. I don't want to see them play the Celtics, but, we just talked about how great Tatum's been. But at some point, that's got to maybe slow down a little bit. The Bulls do have a lot of firepower. I could see them shooting their way out of that series well. But I don't see a really great way for the Nets to get out of a game or a series against Miami.
That's a fair point. I didn't think of the matchup of Miami versus Brooklyn, which certainly I think I would definitely be favoring Miami in that series. Chris, what do you think? You kind of agree with Joey there, or?
Yeah, I thought Joey for sure was going to say the Bulls, but I want to talk about Brooklyn in a different way. So Brooklyn they are 2-5 since Kyrie Irving said, "Just watch how our squad comes out of this All-Star break." And one of those wins came from the most efficient 50-point game in the history of the NBA. I have not looked that up, but there's no chance anybody's got 50-plus points on less than 19 shots. So
somebody fact check that.
Fact check. Yeah, where's Adam? I wouldn't do it anyways. But this team tomorrow is going to be a fun game. They're at Philadelphia. Ben Simmons is going to be on the bench next to holding Steve Nash's hand the whole game,
waiting to file his grievance against the Sixers.
Wait for his tribute video.
Waiting for his tribute.
Tomorrow
night. They're going to do a tribute? There's no chance.
There's no way. There's a chance. I hope they do.
Well, all right. Well, I have a thought on that, but go ahead, Chris. Finish your thought.
So, but yeah, there's 16 games left in the season. Brooklyn is currently in the 8th seed, and to Joey's point, if they played Miami, they'd probably lose. If they,
if they play Milwaukee,
there's 16. There's 16 games left. They can get maybe to the 4th seed if everything broke right for the Brooklyn Nets, but they're going to have a play-in game. They might not get out of the play-in game. I don't know. The Bulls, once they got to get, they're not healthy, and we're going to talk about the Bulls a little bit later. But we got Tristan Thompson starting at center some games. Ayo is not a starting point guard yet in this league. He will be in a year or two maybe, but not right now. And Javonte Green is still our 5th guy. Once we get Patty Will, Lonzo, and why am I blinking on you?
Yeah,
Caruso.
Wow.
Thank
What
you.
is happening? That's man.
Once we get our guys back,
there you go.
We're gonna win a round at least. We match up perfectly against Miami.
We got a lot.
We match up very well against Boston, Cleveland, Toronto, Brooklyn, Charlotte, Atlanta, everybody except let's not talk about Milwaukee and Philly. Embiid and
those guys are
unicorns, and they're just freaks in nature that you don't want to talk about if you need to be them right now. So give me the Bulls to make it out of that round.
I was gonna disagree with you guys because I've been kind of a little pessimistic this last week. I think I said in the group chat that I think they're a first round exit no matter what, even if our guys come back. But the way you guys lay it out, I think the Nets are going to have a tough road getting out of that play-in tournament. Anyway, just in general, whether or not they can get out of there before the playoffs actually start, or if they get out of it during the playoffs, and then going up against Miami, that's no joke. Even with Kyrie, who's absolutely nasty and reminded everybody, and Durant, I still think Miami's a juggernaut. And then the Bulls should have a winnable matchup, either Boston or the Cavs. So I like that. The only note I was going to say, then we'll get into a little bit of more Philly conversation. But all right, here's what happens: they do a tribute video for Ben, and it's highlights, and then it ends with that layup. The pass,
Matisse.
The pass, and that's just the savage way. If I was Philly, that's how I would do it. I would go, we're gonna give you that video, but we're gonna put that little.
If there's one city I can see doing that, would be Philly.
Philly,
right?
yeah.
Philly might actually be that petty.
Hey, remember that?
He's apparently about to ask him for his $22 million back.
Yep, that's what he's gonna.
That's amazing.
And they're saying that's why he's choosing to be on the bench for the game, to let the fans boo him, and basically he's gonna say how was I supposed to come back to the city and play here? I told you I wasn't in the right mental state.
That's
here's
the conspiracy theories.
Here's a reason why. So if they put up a tribute video and they roast him, that's not going to help. Oh, if they put up a tribute video and they don't roast him, they just put up a solid tribute video.
They'll be like, "Hey, look, we were wanted you back. We can't do anything about the fans. You got traded."
Durant's line about it was great, though. He's like, "Yeah, no one's gonna hold his hand. He's got to figure it out for himself. Like, it's gonna be all right."
Yeah, Durant, like, hey.
Well, he had another quote that was like, "People have shitty lives and they just want to." I forget what the quote was exactly. He's kind of ragging on fans who are going to rag on Ben Simmons, but whatever. Let's get to the next question.
All right, next question. Does Harden's performance hurt Embiid's MVP chances? So Embiid's been balling out, but so is Harden. And do you guys think, especially, it seems to be a two-headed race right now between Embiid and Jokic as the serious contenders, and then kind of Giannis, Ja, and DeMar is kind of the next tier. But Chris, we'll go to you on this one. What do you think, man? Is Harden's kind of the way he's balling out?
So that was kind of a question I remember when he joined the team, if that would hurt Embiid's MVP chances, because according to FanDuel, he was the favorite. He was like minus 150 or something. And but whatever Skeets thing you guys talked about, Jokic was the favorite. I think this actually kind of enhances Embiid's chances of winning MVP. His second game. So this guy, he gets like 15, 16, 14 free throw attempts a game. And the second game he played with Harden, he got 27 free throws. And it's like he's getting so many easy, looks to the basket with Harden there. DeAndre Jordan mentioned when he signed with Philly, he was excited to get some easy buckets with Harden. And that's exactly what's happening with Embiid. So I think this is probably going to even help Embiid, especially if Philly gets the 1 seed. I still believe that Embiid should be the MVP. Yeah.
Joey?
So I kind of looked at it, and what came to my head right away was, is it kind of like the Kobe and Shaq-esque type thing where they were both kind of like not cannibalizing each other's stats, but there were two solid players, and it was hard to be like, this guy is the reason that this team, like, whose team is this? The other thing that I think too is the MVP voting, right? There's definitely this whole narrative and like perception thing to it. And when your other option is Jokic, who has been playing pretty much by himself for the entire season, now it's crunch time, 6 weeks left, 5 weeks left, whatever it is. Embiid's got, a top 10 player in the league alongside him now, and they're going at it together. I think that might sway some people to look at Jokic's stats and realize again what he's doing and how good it is. And that, hey, Embiid was great, but he also had somebody else with him who was great, who just helped him get better. But Jokic has been doing it by himself without any help, and managed to keep them in a playoff, seed that they probably shouldn't even have based on who else is on their team.
Yeah. I kind of walk the line here between both of you guys. I do agree with what Chris is saying, where that the improved standings of the 76ers, whether they get the 1, the 2 seed, I feel like that's going to happen no matter what. I don't think they'll even slip beyond 3 or 4 for sure. But I think that's going to help with sort of that narrative. But I also kind of agree with you, Joey, where Jokic is just kind of peaking right now, and I think people are kind of realizing statistically what he's doing, even though, I think you can argue that Embiid is every bit on par with him, maybe even better a little bit defensively. And, his team is doing just as well, or even not better as far as the not the overall record, but the standing in the league in their conference. There's an argument, but I do think right now I still give the edge to Jokic just because I think he's going toe to toe with him Embiid as far as the big games go. But there is a lot of time left, so we'll see who kind of shakes it out. And maybe if Philly kind of gets set in their seating, maybe they're not working so hard, they're kind of resting at the end of the season, and Embiid's numbers take a little bit of a dip, Jokic can pull away, but it's still up in the air. All right, let's go to question number 4. Who is the scariest playoff sleeper, the Celtics or the Mavs, or peaking at the right time team? Sorry, scary or peaking at the right time team. Speaking of peaking at the right time, Joey, let's go to you, man. Mavs, who kind of are getting things rolling. Luka's looking amazing. Looks like he's worked himself into game shape. And then the Celtics, who we've been talking about with Tatum, who is, absolutely balling, man.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I talked about, so question 1, Tatum was the more impactful performance. Then the Bulls question, I was kind of like, yeah, the Bulls played the Celtics and might have a chance to get out of it. And now again, I'm kind of shitting on the Celtics. So like, I think the Mavs are the scarier peaking at the right time team. Luka is kind of gone MVP mode. His stats are kind of ridiculous. The other thing that not scares me, but should scare the league is Spencer Dinwiddie apparently has found himself some talent and some ability to score that, everybody kind of talked about him having and just wasn't clicking. And now he's in Dallas with Luka and it seems to all be going. I just think if you kind of look through the potential of a playoff series and, if Luka isn't having it all, Dinwiddie has kind of proven he can kind of go with it. In Boston, it's been really Tatum only. And as we all know in the playoffs, right, it's more time to prepare. You're seeing the same team, potentially 7 games in a row. You can figure out those matchups. It's a lot easier to do when it's one guy who's kind of the guy. The Celtics have other players, right? But so far they haven't really shown that they're along for the ride with Tatum. Dallas just seems to be kind of turning that corner. It seems like dumping Kristaps was a thing that needed to happen for them, and they seem to be kind of turning that corner and coming out of that kind of awkward phase they were in. And potentially peaking at the exact right time.
Yeah, they're definitely looking sharp. Chris, do you disagree? Agree? What do you think, man?
I don't know. I still don't know. I'm gonna speak, and I'm gonna see where I land.
Just see where it goes.
Spencer Dinwiddie, in 44 games with Washington, had 12.6 points per game. In 8 games with Dallas, had 18.3 in the same minutes per game. The guy's night and day. I don't know what's going on in Washington. It's funny. Washington's one of those teams that if you go there, you never hear from that player again, right? Like, have we ever talked about Rui Hachimura or Corey Kispert or any of these guys? No, because they're in Washington. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
But now that Dinwiddie's in Dallas, everyone wants to talk about him again. And yeah, Dallas has been rejuvenated. They're 14-5 in their last 19. That's not a great stat. Just what I pulled. In 8 games, what are they with the last 8 games? Have they won every game? They're 7-1.
Yeah.
Since the trade. So Dallas, I think is it. So when I look at it, Dallas is the team that so right now they play Utah. Yeah. They're going to be favored in Utah. They're going to win that game in the series in 5. So I would be more afraid of Dallas because they have Luka Doncic and that's it. But then you look at the Celtics and Jason Tatum. Is he just as scary as Luka? He's pretty scary, but what's more terrifying is their defense with Robert Williams, with Marcus Smart. Robert Williams has the best.
Good point.
I saw a stat from the Anchorage man, our beloved Seth Partnow. He saw that Robert Williams is the best defensive win shares individually, but it doesn't matter. But like it kind of matters. I don't know. It's kind of cool to see a guy. It was brought up the defensive player of the year conversation that Robert Williams should be a part of it. Maybe he shouldn't be a part of it, but should be acknowledged that he's having a very good season.
Yeah, he's in the conversation. It's like DeMar bringing him up in the MVP. Like we just need to say his name, and then we can.
You're right, exactly. Maybe not.
We can move on to the real contenders.
It was dumb, but
no, I like your point. I think that matchup in particular in the 4-5, both teams are in the 5 seed right now, which is actually kind of perfect. Dallas will be playing Utah, like you said, and I agree. I think they would win that series. I don't know if they'd be favored in that series, but I think they would win that series. Boston versus Chicago would be tough. I don't know who would win that one, but where I see maybe the edge going to Dallas is that in the second round, I can see Dallas winning a second round series. I think they would match up then against maybe who would
it be Phoenix?
Phoenix. No, would it be? And never mind. I was thinking they might get Memphis or Golden State.
Dallas would have the best player in that series in Phoenix.
True. I mean, you're true. And I think that's kind of maybe what I'm getting to is where Tatum tops out after that first round. Like he goes in the second round, unless they get Miami, which I guess potentially he would be going up against Miami. He could be the best player in Miami or in that series. But against Philly or Milwaukee, I don't think, he's not the best player in either of those series.
No.
Yeah, but then Jimmy Butler, too, in Miami, who is kind of a different person. Right,
Jimmy would be a good defensively against them. Same thing with like the Bulls have the guys that can match up defensively with them. So I can see Jokic maybe being, or not Jokic, Doncic being the better.
Man, get your Euros straight.
Get my Euros. Woo, man.
Keep the Euro straight.
A rough one there. Edit that out.
Oh, you mean Nikola Vucevic, right? Yeah.
Vucevic. Sorry, correct me, please. Vooch. All right, well, let's move on to our last question in our 5-pack of questions. Do we get an all first-timers final? So when I originally asked you guys, I was counting Miami, but I want to say Lowry has a title, so technically not a first time.
What does this mean? So like all the players have not won one?
So yeah, could we get Phoenix or Memphis coming out of the West, and then I was thinking Philly coming out of the East and Miami. I mean, like I still kind of count Miami because yes, Lowry's got one, or Chicago, or Chicago, or
Caruso's got one.
Miami's got one in the
and Tristan Thompson.
And Miami's been the finals. Well, the Suns have been in the finals. Yeah, I didn't go too deep on the roster, but like where the main guys, the main go-to guys, like they're getting the first. Even I could say kind of Miami with Butler kind of being the guy to get his.
Mm-hmm.
You know, do we kind of get a changing of the guard here, or do we kind of get the same old, and we get Golden State, or we get Milwaukee, or we get Brooklyn or somebody? You know, like.
So, all right, I just want to take this question. In the East, I think it's gonna be Philly or Milwaukee. So like I guess it's 50-50 to that question. In the West, I think it's almost a lock that we're gonna get a first timer. The more I look at these standings, it's either this is weird. I think it's either gonna be Memphis, Dallas, or Minnesota to make the finals.
I'm gonna have to we're gonna have to say no there with Minnesota. Please. It took me a second to register.
It took me 26 minutes to bring up Minnesota finals.
Do we need a box out bet here? You want to take those three and
those three? We'll take the field.
We'll take the other 5.
We'll take the Suns. He's thinking about it.
He's thinking about it.
He's like, I kind of. So wait, your 3 teams would be Memphis, Dallas,
and
Minnesota,
and we would get
Phoenix, Golden State, Utah, and Denver.
Oh yeah, we'll do that. I'll do that all day.
Well, who do you guys like from those 4?
I think Memphis and or the Suns. Yeah, I think are getting out of the West.
No, not Memphis. I got Memphis.
We're talking about. No, but I mean, but those are the teams that I think Memphis or.
So, but that's a 50-50 bet. You're saying.
Yeah, because like to me, you're the only team you really have that legitimately could do that is Memphis. To me,
Memphis is just. I was watching them last night because they played the Pelicans. It was an 8.5 point spread. I'm like, oh yeah, Pelicans can cover that, and Memphis just blew them out. And this is stupid for me to be like, oh, now I believe in Memphis, but I kind of do after that kind of performance. Why not them? It's kind of like a why not us kind of team this year.
Yeah,
because they're a year too early.
And Golden State and Utah are boring as hell.
Utah.
I'm saying Golden State's boring, but they just need to get their shit together.
Part of me looking at like Golden State, like what Draymond's supposed to come back Monday. I feel like they're just like kind of biding their time here. It's like, yeah, we don't. I mean, Steph came out and said, right, he's like, I don't need the number 1 seed. I've won with it. I've won without it. Like, I don't really care. I just feel like they're just kind of laying in wait. Like, hey, let's just take it easy. Let's just get to the playoffs and then we'll do what we got to do. I don't know. If
it's Luka against Curry, dude, we need a Dallas Golden State playoff series.
Oh man,
that would be the most exciting. That's what we need. And I'm not going to take the bet because I like Curry. No, I can't. I'm not betting against Golden State. I can't.
Draymond, I would love to see Draymond versus Luka. Holy crap!
Nice.
Be some big bodies crashing around the 3-point line.
Oh yeah.
But no, the West. I mean, the West is going to get weird, man. I kind of agree with you, Chris. Where I think it's Philly or Milwaukee are going to get out of the East. But the West can get weird, man. The West is going to get real weird.
Because the top team, Phoenix, I still don't believe in Phoenix enough.
If Chris Paul is there,
this is weird. This is exactly the conversation we had last year, though. We said the same thing about Phoenix, probably about this time last year. We said we don't.
Yeah, and then every single round, one of the top players on the opposing team got hurt, and they barely beat the Clippers.
Yeah, but as we went through, what we keep saying, we're like the Suns are a team, and like nobody else in the league is like a team, right? Like who's the best team next to the Suns?
Milwaukee. Yeah.
Milwaukee, right? And that's what got him. Like
the thing with the West,
maybe Miami is kind of a team.
Yeah,
Miami's kind of a team.
The thing with the Suns, I just think they're the default best team in the West because everybody else I feel like has flaws. Like I don't really know what's going on with Clay right now. I don't know if he's going to be right by the playoffs. I don't think he will be. So without that, I don't think Golden State is as scary. I mean, again, with Draymond back, the whole thing could change, and like what Joey is saying, they could just be lying in wait. I wouldn't doubt them, but I also, I'm not super convinced right now. The Jazz, I don't believe in at all.
No.
Memphis is a great team, but I'm going to be very curious how their offense translates to the playoffs, whether all that transition and turnovers is going to keep up. I don't think it will. I mean, I love John. I think John will be the best player in almost every series he plays in. So I could see them making a run. Same thing with Luka. But all those teams, I think those guys have flaws where I don't think Phoenix has a flaw. Other than the fact that they don't have that guy, that superstar
supposed to be that guy.
He's supposed to be that guy, but he feels a lot like a Levine type, where he's he can take over in moments, but he's not that dude. He's not going to win you or dominate his series. Yeah, he's not that guy.
You're not that guy.
You ain't that guy.
So I don't know, but I'd be very curious.
I still like Minnesota. They're 7-1 coming out of the All-Star break. I'm going to keep bringing them up.
Put that away.
They might be the 6th seed. They might overtake Denver. We'll save more of that for next week.
We'll save that for next week.
Let's talk about playoff track. Should we talk about
we got one more question, and we'll go to playoff tracker. So this is from Baskets Be Awesome. What's the biggest Easter egg in the NBA that you've noticed? And a clarification on an Easter egg, in case you didn't know. An Easter egg is an intentional inside joke, hidden message, or feature. Love the clarity there. Do you guys notice any Easter eggs? I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Okay, I've got one that's really stupid.
Right, go for it.
So, like on the court, there are sponsors, right? They're like painted onto the floor of each game. And last year in the playoffs, I noticed that like one of the sponsors was kind of like moving around a little bit and it was kind of grainy. And I've now realized that the broadcast superimposes sponsors onto the floor in a spot that it looks like there would be an actual paint on the floor. And the other night, I don't know which game it was, but there was like a Dietz and Watson one, and it was like doubled up, like they had a total error, and it drove me insane. And yeah, my Easter egg is that I learned last year in the finals that they superimpose sponsors on the floor.
So do they have different sponsors on the floor if you're there? I haven't been to an NBA game.
Yeah, so like they're not even there. They're literally like a electronic image that is
we're living in a simulation
being pushed through the broadcast, and it freaked me out.
But there's no hard so it's blank.
It's just blank. So if you're there, you wouldn't see the Dietz and Watson meet ad.
It really threw me off, and I really didn't like it. And I felt like I just got completely duped, and I didn't like it.
That's the one.
That is one that is kind of creepy, and that is a total I'm bugged by this. All right, well, let's move on to our playoff tracker. So all we're going to do each week here, or maybe not every week if the changes don't, or if standings don't change, but we'll just update you guys on the current playoff standings. So currently, as we speak right now, Miami's number 1 in the East, Philly is number 2, Milwaukee's number 3, Bulls are 4, Boston is 5, Cleveland is 6, Toronto is 7, Brooklyn is 8, Charlotte is 9, and Atlanta is 10. And then a game and a half back is Washington. In the West, we have Phoenix at number 1, Memphis at 2, Golden State at 3, Utah at 4, Dallas at 5, Denver at 6, Minnesota at 7, the Clippers at 8, the Lakers at 9, and New Orleans at 10, and Portland also a game and a half back at 11, but they're trying to miss the playoffs. So I feel like we have our teams, our 10 teams. Do you think, real quick question to you guys, do you think Washington or Portland or maybe San Antonio, I think would probably be the better team to ask, can sneak into the playoffs?
No, just because New Orleans has been so good. New Orleans is actually a respectable team now that I think they'll squeak it out over San Antonio.
Joey, you agree? Yeah, I think you're muted.
I was muted. Sorry. No, I don't think. I think it's New Orleans. I don't think. I think Chris is right. They've been playing just right, and they kind of have something to play for. I think they're trying to prove that they can do it without Zion. McCollum's been a good addition. And on the East side, I don't see the Wizards. Talk about a sad story from the Wizards.
Yeah,
they were blitzing at the beginning of the season and just
fell off a cliff. All right, last question, I think, related to the standings. Is there any team that you think can make a move either out of their current situation or significantly increase their standing. So like maybe
sorry,
Minnesota.
Oh, is that yeah, Minnesota's not going to be a playing team.
Wow, you think they're going to be? They're 2.5 back of Denver right now.
I think Utah is going to be a playing team.
You kind of agree? Wow.
Well, I mean,
Utah.
We said Minnesota last week, right? Was the biggest sleeper in the West.
Right. Yeah. We already established Minnesota as
the greatest team in the West.
The greatest team in the West. And a title contender. We got
the title contender. We did establish a title contender.
So one of us did. Yes. One of the box out
into existence
has established them.
Utah. What is Utah? I don't understand.
They're a good regular season team.
They're not even though. Like,
well, not right
now.
They're not even
they're a good regular season team, but like they didn't have last year. The only reason they were good last year, right? They had that like 21 game or 22 game win streak.
Yeah, this is the end of the road here for them. This is, I think they're going to flame out and then they're going to blow that thing up. So
yeah, Mitchell's going to go somewhere else.
Yep,
and Gobert's going to look foolish for taking a pay cut to stay there.
Yeah, and then other than that, I think everything's almost locked in.
Brooklyn's going to get out too. I think
You think Brooklyn's going to get out of the play-in?
But I don't know who goes in. Chicago, Cleveland. You know what? Brooklyn's 5 games back of 5.5 games back of 6.5.
Brooklyn's got to do some work, man.
5.5 games. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think East looks kind of locked. But no, my take is Utah goes into the play and Minnesota gets out.
I think that's right. I think I agree. That's fair.
Wow, four games separate those two teams, so we'll see what happens. We'll have to keep it. We'll track that as we do the playoff tracker. All right, and then the last thing before we play Pirtle here.
Yeah,
we're very excited for Pirtle. Let's start with you, Joey. Give me your top 4 teams in each conference, power rankings wise. So 1 through 4.
Oh, cool.
Or 4 through 1, how you want to do it, but not necessarily the actual current standing, unless it matches up. But who do you think are the best teams?
So 1 through 4 in the East. I think Philly is 1, Miami is 2, Milwaukee is 3, and Chicago is 4.
Ooh, all right, I like it. Chris, or you want to go west? Sorry, go.
We'll do East.
Go East, Chris.
I got Philly, Miami, Milwaukee, and Boston.
Okay, I got Milwaukee number 1, Milwaukee number 1. I got Miami number 2, Philly number 3, and Boston number 4 in the East. All right,
maybe
Joey.
I'm a little low on Milwaukee, but yeah. All right. Are you writing these down, Titus?
No.
Okay, I thought you were writing some down.
It looks like Joey might be doing it.
Philly, Miami, Milwaukee, Chicago. Chris, say yours again.
What did I say? Philly, Miami, Milwaukee, and Boston.
And I had
Milwaukee,
Miami, Philly, Boston.
Actually, can I switch Milwaukee at 2 and Miami at 3?
So Philly, Milwaukee, Miami.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Joey, go back to you for the West.
In the West, let's go Phoenix, Golden State, Memphis, and Dallas.
All right, I like it, Chris.
All right, so as of today,
this is getting bad.
There we go.
I got
Timberwolves.
I got Phoenix. I'm not crazy. I got Phoenix, Memphis,
okay,
Dallas, and Minnesota.
Ooh, all right.
Wait.
As of today,
Golden State's not in your top 4?
No, because
as of today,
if
the 8 seed's not that far fetched.
Curry even said if the playoffs started today, they'd be in trouble.
Fair enough.
So
yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
I'm gonna also take Chris's line of as of today. I have Memphis number 1, Phoenix number 2.
Okay.
Oh man, you're kind of. I mean, I wanted to default put Golden State, but then now I'm kind of thinking as of today, you know. Give me Denver give me Golden State give me Golden State number 3 and Denver number 4. That feels right. I wanted to
Denver number 4. Okay.
Yeah, you know, I like Denver. I'm a Denver.
So no Dallas on your list.
No Dallas on my list just yet.
No Mavs.
Just yet.
Okay. Well, Bucks Nuggets action going.
Bucks Nuggets. So hey, that was almost a Bucks Nuggets. All right. Now the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's go. I'm going to share my screen. Hold on. Make sure I can do this. Portal time.
Portal.
Share screen.
Portal.
All right. Hopefully you guys can see this. Does it look good on the screen?
Got it.
All right, guys. I will do the.
Do we need to explain to anybody who knows what? Make sure.
Oh yeah. Okay. So Portal is based on the word game Wordle, the national sensation. But it is basketball related. You guess an NBA player. There's clues. There's 8 guesses. Do we want to go silhouette first? Do we want to just throw in a name and see what happens?
No, I always
show silhouette.
Yeah.
All right, let's show silhouette.
We're not that good.
Whoa! All right. Do we have it? Does Joey
Michael Porter Jr.
Ooh, that's a good guess.
Ooh, that's good. All right, so we're gonna go to Michael Porter Jr.
The hair.
Yeah,
I feel like a sicko.
If you get this.
Ooh.
All right. So West
6'10".
6'10". Hit the
he's
height.
Not a forward.
All right, not
he's
a forward.
Younger than 23.
And he's not in the Northwest. So what teams are in the Northwest?
So we got either in the Pacific or Southwest.
Yes.
Really young. He's probably a center.
So let's guess either a Pacific team or a West or a.
Is that a Sengun? Sengun?
Oh, Alpern. Yeah.
How do you
guess? ALP. You should see
ALP,
it then.
Alpern Sengun.
Hey!
Oh my God! 2 guesses, guys! Wow, we are so amazing
good
team. We are an amazing team.
That's fantastic.
This is great. That couldn't have gone any better.
So the only reason I know that is I just picked him up in fantasy the other day, and I was like, "Man, that haircut looks like something I just saw."
Please, let's cut this clip.
Yeah.
Shout out to the No Dunks girls, the ladies at No Dunks, and Gabe. I believe Gabe, the producer, is the one who built the game. Man, this thing's taking off. We love playing it. If you guys are happen to be seeing
this feels like a good weekly. That was 2 minutes. I thought that was gonna be like an 8-minute thing.
I know it was a little, but no, it's actually kind of perfect. Keeps the episode kind of nice and short.
But you got the age was below 23, so
I'm feeling good.
Man, Joey just coming through in the clutch here.
Nice. Wow,
that was nice. Oh man, that's so.
You just picked him up in fantasy.
There it is.
That's what you gotta do. So
I'm locked out of the playoffs, but I gotta get him.
I have not checked my fantasy.
Wait, you're not gonna be in the playoffs?
How many teams make the playoffs?
I don't know.
I'm in 7th place, and I'm in 8th place, and I'm not getting to 7th because this is the last week, right?
6 people make it.
Yep, I am not making it.
Tough.
That's cool. I only host a NBA podcast. Can't.
Well, I'm not in it, right, either.
Well, I'm the 1 seed.
Me and you are.
You're the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because you didn't let us pick your 4th pick in the draft.
Yeah,
you still haven't paid that payoff.
There's been some sanctions.
God.
Still isn't paid the payoff.
I remember I said I drafted DeMar DeRozan 4th round. And that's been like the best pick ever.
That really was a great pick.
It was a great pick. Well, since we're discussing our fantasy teams, I think we're about wrapped up for tonight. Anything else, guys? Real quick, or
no? Go Sengun.
Sengun. We love Portal. I can't wait to play tomorrow morning right away.
First thing up.
First thing up in the morning, we'll be in the group chat with the Portals and the Hurdles.
I've never been so excited to get something right.
That was awesome, dude.
It was recorded too.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, we gotta get this.
That was great. Please cut that, Chris, and we're gonna.
Yeah, I'll definitely post that.
The word.
It's like a minute and a half.
Yeah, it's a great little clip for us. This is awesome.
It's a great Instagram video.
Oh, yeah. Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. Well, that is it for us tonight. Join us next week to talk more NBA basketball. Follow us at Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch at the Box Out Boys. Slide into those DMs. Join us live Wednesdays at 8:30. Send us an email to theboxoutboys@gmail.com. And as always, like, subscribe, and review wherever you're listening to this at now. We very much appreciate that. On that note, please like our YouTube videos if you guys can. That really helps us with the algorithm. So for Chris, Joey, and Adam, I'm Titus. Until next time, Box out.